Welcome to the Rocky Report, brought to you by First Interstate Bank, Montana Honda and Marine, the Montana Tobacco Quit Line at 1-800-QUIT-NOW, Opportunity Bank, and your local Ford stores. And now from the campus of Rocky Mountain College, here's your host, Bruce Parker.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Rocky Report here from the Fortin Education Center on the campus of Rocky Mountain College. I'm Bruce Parker. Well, it was a championship week for the Battling Bear volleyball team as Laurie Kelly's squad went to Butte and won the postseason championship. The Battling Bears ranked number 1 in the country, 29-2. Next up, the NAI National Tournament. We'll talk to Coach Kelly about that. Also, the cross-country team on the women's side and Alan King getting set for the Nationals, as is Richard Duffy and the men's soccer program. So great seasons for those squads. Football wraps up its season, and that and much, much more. We'll talk about it with coaches and interviews. Stay with us. The Rocky Report's up next.
Plonk. It's a unique bar and restaurant in Bozeman. It was a big financial decision to find the right bank for our growing business. We decided on Opportunity Bank of Montana. They have great mobile banking, which is good, because we're always on the go. I already had a home mortgage with them, with great interest rates. We met with Bert, our new banker, our friend, and now we have a second restaurant in Missoula. It was a great opportunity.
Montanans have their own definition of what's important in life. Success takes discipline and perseverance. Dedication is more than just putting in your time. And trust is the foundation of long-standing relationships. In Montana, strength means something more. Stockman Bank was born from these principles. They've been the guiding source of our strength since day one. Stockman Bank, Montana banking, pure and simple.
As a driven business owner, you want to pursue your dream, not worry about administrative chores, employee benefits, and HR. With Avitas Group, you don't have to. We'll provide the solutions you need. Everything from payroll and taxes to online marketing and IT. For each and every operational need, Avitas Group has an entire team of diverse, specialized professionals. Follow your dream. Leave the logistics to us.
Up next, our highlights with Dustin Askham.
Welcome to the final Rocky Report of the 2014 football season. The Battling Bears hosting MSU Northern, who they beat by a pair of touchdowns just a few months ago. We'll pick things up in the first quarter. No score, that is, until Jess Cron finds Jake Messerly, who sneaks behind the Rocky secondary. 7-0 Lights lead. Later on in the first, Cron on third down goes play action once again and rolls to his right. But Brendan Johnson says, no way, Jose. Looks back and says, nuh-uh, sack there for number 91. Rocky now, after a long run by quarterback Bryce Baker. Baker 1 yard out from the end zone finds fullback Nick Newberry. He's a Florida native. This is a little different weather than he's used to. 10-6, Northern still leads though because no two-point conversion. Now look at this long Baker run. This is the second time he did this to the Northern defense. Fakes the handoff and runs for 50-plus yards. Sorry for the shaky camera there. He faked me out a little bit. Very next play, Baker punches it in from the 1 yard line to make it 13-10. Rocky. We'll head things off to the second quarter now. Rocky leads 13-10. Cron fakes to his right, fakes to his left, and tosses over to Zach McKinley, who gets in easily for the score. 17-13, Lights back on top. Rocky trying to fight back after another Northern score. Baker bombs it to who else? Andre McCullough. We've seen this over and over and over. Baker to McCullough for the touchdown. 24-20, the Lights still lead as you see Baker excited about the TD there. Northern with the ball again. Tough running by McKinley. Breaks a few tackles. Scampers off to his left. They tack on a field goal after this one, 27-20, and they would go on to win 44-41 on a last-second field goal. Rocky finishes the season at 5-6, losing their last 4 contests. So to the Copper City we go for the Frontier Conference Championship. The Battling Bears versus Lewis Clark State. Aaliyah Billis with the spike here in the first set. The Bears cruise through the first few rounds of this tournament as they have most of the season, putting their 27-match win streak on the line. As you see another Aaliyah Billis spike there. They'd win the first set 25-22, but Lewis Clark State, that first set was close, the second was close, and here in the third, they're only down 2-1 because they would win that set. Fighting hard against the number 1 Battling Bears was Lewis Clark State. But Rocky would go to work. Lewis Clark State sets up the spike here, but a block by Yan Yan. So Rocky needs just 1 more point to win it. Set up Yan Yan for the huge spike. the last of her regular season career. Congratulations to the Battling Bears on an incredible season, 28 straight wins. They are your Frontier Conference champs.
And joined now by head football coach Brian Armstrong, who wrapped up his season at the Herb Clint Field. A very nice day in Billings, Montana. The field in pretty good shape. And Brian, I know you're disappointed with the way it ended up, but you had so many close games, especially at home this year.
We did. That being said, we didn't win enough of them, especially at home this year. We lose 3 games at home by a field goal, each one of them, and a couple of them we missed field goals in that games or had opportunities like yesterday. And we're never going to accept losing here, and we don't accept it now, and we need to get better. And that being said, our kids battled, we fought hard, but there's in this league there's such a narrow margin between victory and defeat, and we need to find a way to close that gap and get on the right side of it.
Now, if you liked offense, you were at the right place yesterday at Herb Clint Field. I think almost 1,200 yards between the two teams. MSU Northern really looked good, but they've been pretty good offensively all year.
Well, I'll tell you, I think that they were maybe the most talented football team that didn't necessarily show it in the win-loss column. Obviously they went through some internal strife at the beginning of the season with the head coach and all that, but they're a very good football team, offensively for sure, and up front defensively.
And really, the day turned out, the weather was pretty good. The field conditions okay?
Yeah, it was hard for sure. A little bit, slick and sliding around, but it was that way for both teams. And all in all, weather considered pretty good, I thought.
Nobody took you down this week?
No.
In the game?
Put me down.
Baker didn't try to chest bump you or anything?
No.
So you survived. That's good.
Yeah.
Well, we'll come back and talk more with Brian about what's up next for the Battling Bear football team. Recruiting on the horizon right now, and it's a very important year for recruiting for all college football teams. Stay with us. More on the Rocky Report right after this.
It's hard to be in college and not be focused.
Being an athlete even helps you become more and more focused.
If I don't stay focused, I fall way behind on schoolwork.
A lot of homework on the bus and in hotel room.
This is one of the most formational times in your life, and so it's important to make healthy choices.
Because people who are tobacco free just do better in school.
I don't use tobacco. I feel like your body is your temple.
I don't think I'd be the person I am today if I had used tobacco products.
I'm focused on a tobacco-free generation.
Upgrade. It means your day just got better. That's the idea behind First Rewards World MasterCard from First Interstate Bank. With every purchase, you earn points you can use to upgrade just about any aspect of your life. Even better, rewards come from your world, your neighbors, your favorite local businesses. It's the difference between dining out and dining out in style, your style. First Rewards World MasterCard from First Interstate Bank. Your style, your rewards.
You live for life's finest moments, like seeing nature firsthand, teaching something old to someone new, experiencing the thrill in their face, and doing it again and again. Join us on the water in the very best boat for these moments. Tracker boats, built for life.
Montana Honda and Marine in Billings. Well, one of the most important things for any college athletic team is recruiting, and Coach Armstrong back with us on the Rocky Report, and Brian, now becomes a very crucial time for any football program, and that's recruiting, and you got a lot ahead of you.
Yeah, we do. We have some immediate needs we need to get taken care of and try to get those shored up, and on top of that, we need to build depth. One of the big hurdles that we had to try and overcome this year were injuries, and thankfully we had some depth at some spots and some not at some spots, and so we need to try to create some depth so we can create competition. And it's football, you're never going to get through a season unscathed with injuries, and so depth is so important, and do a good job of developing what we do have as well.
Now, I know you'll look for players and take players if they're good students and good athletes from anywhere, but how do you kind of center your coaches and what's the game plan for your recruiting?
Well, we always
efforts?
start right here in Billings, and again, I think at most any school, but especially here at Rocky, fit is so important. Academically, do they fit kind of what we're looking for, and athletically, can they help us win games? And it's important that we start right here because, you know, there's a lot of good football played right here in Yellowstone County and the surrounding area. So that's always where we'll start, and then from there we'll, you know, branch out in Montana. 60% of our locker room is Montana kids, and from there it's kind of wherever we can find good players that you know, fit our footprint academically and can help us win games.
Now, I'm a parent, and I'm going to ask you, what are you looking for? I mean, what are the key elements you're looking for in a recruit to come be as part of your program?
Well, number one, we're looking for somebody that wants to come and get a great education and is serious about getting a great education. That's the most important. On top of that, you know, we've kind of got a few core values that we look for: effort, toughness, discipline, commitment, and pride. And those are kind of the things that we look for in guys that have all those. And again, then we don't always necessarily get the top shelf guys. We don't get they come right off the rack ready to go. Sometimes we got to develop them, and that's all right too. And it's a process. Football is a very developmental sport.
And you know, Brian, you got as high as number 5 in the national rankings this year, so wasn't a total loss. I know you'd rather be in the playoffs, worrying about a playoff game right now. Just maybe kind of put it in a nutshell and tell me what you felt about the season.
You know, I felt that our kids played hard. I don't think that we ever, you know, turned it down by any stretch of the imagination. At the same time, I really felt like we were always kind of searching for an identity, if that makes sense. You know, and with some of the injuries we had and guys going in and out of the lineup, and that part was difficult. At the same time, I truly believe that a program kind of goes through 4 phases: learning to compete, learning to win, learning how to win, and then winning championships. And I think we're somewhere between that. I think our guys know how to win, but you know, you rewind a year ago, you know, we need to learn how to accept winning and keep winning. That's kind of the thing. I really believe it's a lot easier to get it going than to keep it going, if that makes sense. And so we've climbed the ladder, and we've you know, we've scaled the mountain a little bit, but we're not anywhere near where we need to be. And so we'll come back tomorrow morning and get back to work and get things right for 2015.
And we'll have you on the show to get some recruiting updates during the winter.
Sounds good.
Thanks, Brian. Enjoyed having you here this year. Brian Armstrong, head football coach. Stay with us. More on tap on the Rocky Report.
Time to relax. The water's hot and steamy, but don't stay in too long or you'll look like a giant raisin. At least there'll be no wrinkles on your forehead because you won't be worrying about energy bills. Your water heater keeps those bills low month after month, bath after bath. So go ahead, soak away. A super efficient water heater, just one of hundreds of details that make Northwest Energy Star homes better.
Plonk. It's a unique bar and restaurant in Bozeman. It was a big financial decision to find the right bank for our growing business. We decided on Opportunity Bank of Montana. They have great mobile banking, which is good, because we're always on the go. I already had a home mortgage with them, with great interest rates. We met with Bert, our new banker, our friend, and now we have a second restaurant in Missoula. It was a great opportunity.
You live for life's finest moments, like seeing nature firsthand, teaching something old to someone new, experiencing the thrill in their face, and doing it again and again. Join us on the water in the very best boat for these moments. Tracker boats, built for life.
Montana Honda and Marine in Billings. Well, I'm in the midst of a championship coach with a championship team, a team heading to the NAIA National Tournament in Sioux City, Iowa. Head coach Laurie Kelly, fresh off a Frontier Conference Tournament Championship. Laurie, first of all, congratulations. What a great thrill for you and your team.
Oh, man. You know, like, I have to really look at this team and their accomplishments and talk about what it's like to be number one for 10 weeks and the pressure that's on them. They handle it like champs. Like, we know every game is so important, and if people can upset number one, you know, they're going to get looked at, and it's going to be in the news and everything. And so they've handled this so well that I am just privileged to be their coach right now.
Now, you've won 28 in a row. It's been a long time since you last lost all the way back to early September, late August. You were undefeated in the conference. Going into the tournament, overwhelming favorite, but that puts a little burden on you, like a big target on your back.
It is. And, you know, and I think because we really talk about this a lot, you're only as good as your last game. However, you know, you do have the right to be proud of what you have accomplished, because people don't win 28 in a row. I mean, that you're handling it well, and you're going out there and competing. And I think that's what this group does, is they get beat once in a while, a set or two. They get beat, and they come back with a vengeance after that, because sometimes things just don't go your way. And this is sports.
I was going to talk to you about that. You lost 2 sets. I was going, what the heck's going on? No, I was kidding.
I know,
but people they do have those expectations.
They're like, what happened? What happened? The other teams are really good. And you know, Tech was home. They had the host bid, and they were there. And when you play at somebody else's house, you know they're going to bring their best game. Matter of fact, number 5 Tech beat number 4 Great Falls, and that had a lot to do with being at home. And then, you know, Tech, we're just a lot taller than them, and so we kind of shut down their middles. But they bring it, and I'll tell you, their libero was really good. But I think LC was the one, they wanted it so bad. Like, you know, I read their articles, and they're like, you know, they want to beat us so bad that they can taste it, and they're going to show what they've got. And everybody's like that. And I'm like, so what? Be that way. You should be that way in competition. You should go in saying that you're going to, you know, just because we're number one doesn't mean we're kids. They're 21-year-old kids.
They are. And, you know, let's talk about the season, Laurie. 29-2, number one ranking in the country. Now you just have to wait and see who you will play. You have to wait like a week to see who you'll play in the national tournament. But was this the kind of season you thought you could accomplish with this team?
You know, you always wish, and you knew you had everybody back. And we did some damage last year at the national tournament. And, you know, what we really went stride for, we definitely want to bring home the conference tournament again, championship again. But we were really playing for positioning at nationals. We could have lost, and we could have been number 10, and we could have got in. But to be the number 1 seed, you get a really good pool play. You know, so last year we went in at like 24, you know, and so we had a tough pool play. We, you know, number 3, number 7, number 9, and us. So, you know, when I talked to him about that, you know, like in that pool play at nationals, you really, you know, you want to set yourself up for that if you can. You know, I don't put a lot of pressure on them. Just like play. You know, we'll help you figure it out. You know, you guys play tough. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. And, you know, we kind of had an injury this week, and we had to put in a couple other kids, and our bench stepped up, and we're excited for them.
And now you get to think about Sioux City, Iowa. They're going to give you the keys to the city pretty soon. You're getting to be a regular there 2 years in a row now.
I hope so. I hope we're a regular every year. I looked at a lot of our recruits that played in the state tournament this weekend, and they did great. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'm really excited that Young was Player of the Year. And we also had Aaliyah Billis, Tori Birch, Setter of the Year, and, of course, Anna DeWalt in the first team all-conference, and Bree Geck, second team.
Don't be modest.
I know.
Coach of the Year.
I thank my team for that. I can't get Coach of the Year unless they earn it for me. So, and then Sarah got Assistant Coach of the Year. So kind of walked away with a few awards, well-deserved for a number 1 team.
Well, next week we'll talk to you about who you're playing and where you're going, but congrats on a great season to date.
Yeah. Thank you.
Head coach Laurie Kelly. Boy, they've had an outstanding year. We're going to take a break and come back with more. Stay with us from the Fortin Center at Rocky Mountain College. Our student athletes of the week come from the volleyball court as we honor the 2014 Battling Bear volleyball team. Rocky, which won the Frontiers regular season with an unblemished 14-0 record, swept through the league's postseason tournament with wins over Montana Western, Montana Tech, and Lewis Clark State to capture the league's tournament title. Coach Laurie Kelly's squad heads to the NAI National Tournament in Sioux City, Iowa, as the nation's top-ranked team with a 29-2 record. And for our play of the week, we head to the Rocky Bowl in Herb Clint Field for some fireworks on the gridiron. In the final game of the season for 17 outstanding seniors, a familiar name is our top play. Quarterback Bryce Baker, who accumulated over 10,000 yards in total offense in his career with the green and gold, takes off on this 77-yard run to set up a short touchdown carry for Rocky. Baker also had a great day passing the ball. He ended with 155 yards rushing and 2 scores to go along with his 270 yards passing and 4 touchdowns.
All right, sports fans, it's game time at the Built Ford Tough Sales event. And when it comes to trucks, stats don't lie. F-150 with EcoBoost has smash-mouth power with efficiency. And with best-in-class payload, boom, F-150 hauls in the Hail Mary. And here's a stat, pal. F-Series has been America's truck for 37 straight years. And that's a dynasty, baby.
Now during the Built Ford Tough Sales event, get up to $10,986 total value on F-150. Only at your local Ford store.
It's time to relax. The water's hot and steamy, but don't stay in too long, or you'll look like a giant raisin. At least there'll be no wrinkles on your forehead because you won't be worrying about energy bills. Your water heater keeps those bills low month after month, bath after bath. So go ahead, soak away. A super efficient water heater, just one of hundreds of details that make Northwest Energy Star homes better.
As a student, as an athlete, it is so important to stay focused.
When I'm not on the field, I'm in the classroom. When I'm not in the classroom, I'm in the books.
So you have to focus and prioritize what's important.
The choices I make on a day-to-day basis are huge. Not using tobacco, it all benefits who I am and who I am as a basketball player.
When you step on the mat, it's only you and another person, and making healthy choices is the first step.
Without making those healthy choices, I can be held back in my performance and I can hurt my team.
It's very important how the community sees you. I'm focused on a tobacco-free generation.
Well, it's postseason in the men's soccer world, and the Battling Bear men's soccer team pulled the upset by defeating top-seeded Great Falls in the NAI unaffiliated tournament. Joining me now, Richard Duffy, the head coach at Rocky Mountain College. And Coach, first, congratulations. Some would call it an upset. You might not call it an upset. Beating Great Falls in the championship, you qualify for the national tournament. Got to be a great feeling.
Yeah, very excited about the team going back to the tournament. It's our 3rd consecutive year now, so we've obviously in the short term of our men's program here, we've been pretty successful, and it's 3 in a row. So.
And now you have to kind of sit around, wait for the qualifiers and all the upsets and all the tournaments. The RPI comes out, and then the NAI will make a decision on who and where you'll play. Any ideas right now?
It could be anywhere. Last week I was thinking Iowa. There's a couple of teams in Iowa I thought we'd probably get placed with, but there was just upsets all over the place, all over the country yesterday. So we were kind of lucky in a way that our tournament was a week before the rest of the conferences. So we'll find out tomorrow and kind of roll the dice, and pretty happy wherever we play.
Yeah, not all bad to maybe you get a California team to come here and kind of the winter season. You know, there was some snow on the ground. We'll have to get the fields plowed off, but what kind of advantage would it be to play at Wendy's Field and have somebody have to come into Billings?
Yeah, I think it just shows you last week's tournament, obviously going in as a 4 seed. Most people probably didn't expect us to win the tournament, but we're able to knock off 3 teams in our conference and playing on our home field, so we don't lose too much over the last few years on Wendy's Field. Be excited to get River comes in here if that's a possibility.
Yeah, let's step back a little bit and talk about the championship game, your victory over Great Falls. You had 2 really close games with the Argonauts during the season, probably 2 games you could have won. So when you went in, were you fairly confident you could get them this time?
Yeah, everyone keeps saying it's tough to beat a team 3 times in a year. You know, I'm not sure if I fully believe in that. Maybe I do now, but we play them tight both here and up in Great Falls. They're a very talented team this year. I mean, they had 17 wins on the year, so you don't do that unless you've got a good squad. So, but we played well. Jack Clancy scored another goal. He seems to always pop up and score from nowhere, and we're able to hold on the second half. Played a good defense second half, and then got a 1-0 win.
How much did your mindset change as a head coach when you get that lead in a tight championship game like that? Do you become more defensive?
It's one of those where you kind of want them to keep going for that second goal. The last 5-10 minutes of the game, then you can get in, shut up shop and kind of play more defensive. But But we're able to kind of weather the storm from Great Falls in that second half, and then just kind of finished up the game at the end.
So you said basically you wanted to turn the knife. Once you had that lead, you wanted to do that.
Exactly.
Let's talk playoffs now. You're a veteran of taking your teams to the NAI National Tournament. What changes in the playoffs? I know competition is outstanding, but what really changes when you get into that playoff?
I think now my expectations are a little different. I think the first year we made the national tournament, it was only our 4th year of the program, and you're kind of just happy to be there. Now I think we're at the point going into the 3rd season where we've already done this. Now we're looking to do something we haven't done before, which is obviously Sweet 16 or National Championship. Kind of take it that route. So.
You feeling good about getting that win in the first round?
Yeah, I'm excited. I think the players are up for it. You can just tell kind of team chemistry. They're 15 degrees out last week, and they're out having a good time in the snow. So. They're looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully we can win their next game.
How about nationals? Now, if you win that play-in game, where do you end up going?
South Beach, Miami. So the South Beach for a week. So that's a pretty big incentive for the players too, is getting down to Miami for the next one. So.
Well, good. Count me in on that trip.
Sounds great.
If you go to Miami, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Head coach Richard Duffy, congrats to them and the men's soccer team. We're going to take a break and come back with more on our Rocky Report. Stay with us.
Plonk. It's a unique bar and restaurant in Bozeman. It was a big financial decision to find the right bank for our growing business. We decided on Opportunity Bank of Montana. They have great mobile banking, which is good, because we're always on the go. I already had a home mortgage with them, with great interest rates. We met with Bert, our new banker, our friend, and now we have a second restaurant in Missoula. It was a great opportunity.
Montanans have their own definition of what's important in life. Success takes discipline and perseverance. Dedication is more than just putting in your time. And trust is the foundation of long-standing relationships. In Montana, strength means something more. Stockman Bank was born from these principles. They've been the guiding source of our strength since day one. Stockman Bank, Montana banking, pure and simple.
I know people who do all their shopping at a warehouse store, but just because it's a great place to buy muffins doesn't mean it's the right place to buy tires. So I asked some friends. They said Tire-Rama. There's one right around the corner. Tire-Rama helped me decide on a set of Cooper tires that qualified for a $70 Visa rebate. I got an oil change and a free brake inspection at the same time. Cooper tires, a $70 rebate, an oil change, and a free brake inspection. They really are more than just a tire store.
Well, we're back in the Fortin Education Center, where on Friday night it was Black Tie and Blue Jeans, a tremendous scholarship fundraiser put on by Rocky Mountain College. Kelly Edwards and Kelsey Dare did a great job with that. It was truly a tremendous event for a very, very good cause. Special thanks this week to our coaches, Brian Armstrong, Laurie Kelly, and Richard Duffy for being with us. Coach Duffy and Coach Kelly getting ready for national tournament play, as is the cross-country team with Alan King. They'll be heading to Lawrence, Kansas this weekend for the NAI Cross Country Championships. Boy, it's been a great fall for Rocky Mountain College athletics. Thanks to you for watching us this week. We look forward to seeing you next week right here on the campus of Rocky Mountain College. I'm Bruce Parker. We'll see you there.